Takeshi is with Poe talking about what happened at Bancroft's. Their conversation is cut short when an injured Kristen arrives at the hotel. Takeshi brings her inside and helps her bathe. Meanwhile, Poe goes to Elliot's daughter Lizzie in the virtual world. He can sense that she is doing something to connect the virtual and the real. He knows it might be dangerous, but after everything Lizzie has been through, he doesn't want to stop her from doing what makes her happy. In the room, Kristen tells Takeshi about his sister's clones that attacked her earlier. As they talk, she bluntly asks him if he loves her. The question takes Takeshi aback, and he realizes something is wrong. Upon giving it a thought, it is clear to him that the woman is Ryleen and not Kristen. Ryleen doesn't try to hide it and makes fun of him for finding out later than she expected. Takeshi begs her to reveal where Kristen is, but she is smarter than that. Using Kristen as a pawn, Ryleen wants to bring her brother on her side again. Meanwhile, the Ghost Walker is in front of Kristen's family home. He has been sent there to kill her entire family just to teach Kristen a lesson for killing the clones earlier. He pretends to be a worker from the church and makes Kristen's uncle his first kill. It is followed by her mother, then her little siblings who were only kids. Takeshi finds out what Ryleen is planning and runs to Kristen's home. However, he walks into a bloodied house and realizes he is too late. This is the last straw, as he can no longer wait for his sister to return to her former self. Later that night, he meets Ryleen at a restaurant and shows her Mary Lou's stack. He has found out that Mary Lou was killed and her stack was stolen by Ryleen. Not just that, but Ryleen owns the brothel called Head in the Clouds. She is the one who employed Mary Lou and hid her death from the police. She has even found a way to embed unauthorized Neo-C on humans. She registers all her employees as Neo-Cs, which will not allow the government to use their stack to find out about the murder. With fake Neo-Cs, she can hide the deaths of her employees as she did with Mary Lou. Ryleen is impressed that Takeshi was able to discover the ins and outs of her business, but she is unsatisfied that he now knows her hands are covered in the blood of innocent prostitutes. She doesn't show a hint of regret and still argues that she did everything so they could have a better life. She gives Takeshi the last chance to join her, threatening to kill Kristen, but to her surprise, he still refuses and walks away. Outside, he boards a flying car with Miriam and drives to her fantasy land. Ryleen lets him go because she is sure she can get him to turn around and join her. Then, we see that the real Takeshi is still at the AI hotel with his friends. To explain how the duplicate Takeshi came into existence, we are taken 18 hours earlier. After finding the dead bodies of Kristen's family, Takeshi goes to Elliot and his wife. They meet at the AI hotel, where they are joined by Kristen's colleague Mickey. Takeshi wants to do everything on his own because being involved might get his friends killed. However, Elliot and the others are adamant about helping. Following that, they make an elaborate plan. First, Takeshi is going to make a doppelganger of himself through the process of mind cloning. The doppelganger is going to meet Ryleen, refuse her offer, then take off with Miriam. This way they can ensure that Ryleen won't know what the real Takeshi is up to. Next, Elliot installs a camera into Takeshi's eyes that will record everything he sees in the next 24 hours. Takeshi wants to break into the brothel, make his sister confess, and record it. Then, her position and power will be harmed, and without them, she will have a chance to be her former self again. Even after everything that happened, he wants her to come back home from evil and is ready to accept her. However, the problem remains that only the most elite customers get to receive service from a brothel as exclusive as the Head in the Cloud. To solve this problem, a fake identity is made for Elliot. He is given the title of military general with many connections. With that kind of influence, he easily gets a pass to the brothel and its exclusive services. In the meantime, Kristen is with Ryleen joined to a virtual world. The Ghost Walker is torturing her again and again in VR. Ryleen wants her to suffer for trying to take her brother away from her. Then there is Lizzie, who is continuing to look for the answers of the universe. Takeshi comes to wish her goodbye, but her words are confusing even to him. Perhaps an AI could understand what she is trying to do, but Takeshi doesn't have the time to dwell on it yet. They wish each other goodbye before separating. After that, Elliot lands at the brothel and is received by the manager. Takeshi is staying hidden in the car until Elliot derails the heat tag system that can detect Takeshi's presence. However, Elliot is distracted when he finds out the prostitute he has been given is a poor 19-year-old girl. She is ready to be killed and tortured for his sake and thinks that she will be reprogrammed after that. However, Elliot knows that the brothel will kill her permanently, so the customer could get the entire sadistic experience. He feels bad for the naive girl and knocks her out with a drug. After finding out the lengths the brothel goes to torture girls, he is even more motivated to blow its cover. But before he dismantles the system, Takeshi is found by two guards. He kills both of them and enters the building looking for his sister. When he gets to her, she will be just in time for her next reboot. He has brought a device with him that will transfer the reboot to the hotel and make it dysfunctional. In the end, Ryleen would only have one life left, and using it, Takeshi can threaten her to reveal the truth about the people she has killed. While returning to his room, Elliot bumps into the manager. He offers to bring another woman to him, someone who is more aggressive. When Elliot refuses, he even offers to bring a man or a child. Disgusted by everything he has seen, Elliot loses his cool and shoots the manager dead. After that, he helps Takeshi get into Ryleen's office just in time for her backup. Their plan works and the backup is downloaded to the hotel's computer. Now, Ryleen only has one life, and if she is killed, she will never return. Ryleen cannot believe that she fell for the doppelganger trick. Kristen is in a corner attached to a VR and being tortured constantly, but Takeshi cannot free her because that would alert the Ghostwalker. Takeshi orders Ryleen to begin confessing everything she has done till now. His eye camera will record it and it will be evidence for later on. With no choice left, Ryleen continues talking about her past. It all started when Bancroft supported the government's decision to approve Section 653. It is a law that allows the government to use the Neo-C stack as evidence in case the owner is killed. If the law was passed, Ryleen could no longer provide her customers with a package where they could kill girls permanently. Hence, to avoid losing money, she had to persuade Bancroft otherwise. For this purpose, one night she drugged Bancroft using his wife. This is where we find out that Miriam was also involved in the case because she owed Ryleen a favor. Miriam drugged Bancroft with a substance called the Stallion that makes men aggressive. Hence, when he returned to the brothel at night, he killed a girl and destroyed her chip to kill her permanently. Mary Lou saw this and ran away. At last, she jumped into the river to save herself from Ryleen and the case was declared a suicide. But after that, Riker, who was Mary's friend, didn't let the case go. Hence, Ryleen framed him and got him killed as well. Back to Bancroft. He was blackmailed regarding the death he caused, so he vouched for the law to be removed. In the end, the brothel continued making money as usual. Bancroft is a bad man, but one thing he is not is a murderer. When the high of the Stallion wore off, he drowned in regret. Hence, he deleted the last 48 hours from his log and shot himself. After coming to life, he didn't want to believe that he was a coward and wanted to know the whole truth. This is when Ryleen played the MasterCard and got her brother out. Every person she killed eventually led to his freedom. She argues that everything she did was for him. However, Takeshi never wanted that kind of obsession from her. Just after Takeshi gets the entire confession, the Ghostwalker arrives with backup. In the meantime, Kristen is in the VR world repeatedly coming home to her dead family. It is a form of mental torture inflicted by the Ghostwalker. Outside, Ryleen sends her people to the AI hotel to punish Mickey, Poe, and Elliot's wife. They arrive at the hotel in less than 5 minutes and hold everyone at gunpoint. Poe is attacked and burned to nanodust. With the little time he has left, he goes to Lizzie and wishes her goodbye. He wants to upload her to the array so she won't be hurt, but Lizzie argues otherwise. She claims that he remembers everything that happened to her and has attained a higher level of knowledge. Poe sees confidence in her eyes and allows her to do as she pleases. Eventually, he dies and Mickey is also killed outside. Elliot's wife is then taken to the brothel at Ryleen's request. In the storage unit, an employee takes advantage of an extra sleeve and tries to force himself onto her, but suddenly she changes into Lizzie and kills him. It is then revealed that Lizzie has figured out a way to transfer her consciousness into anyone's stack. She gets dressed and goes out to end the war. In the meantime, Kristen is brought out of the virtual world. Ryleen lines her, Elliot, and his wife, asking Takeshi to choose which one he wants to kill first. With his loved ones at risk, he has to oblige to whatever his sister says. He takes the gun, but instead of pointing it at them, he points it at himself. He even dares to shoot, but discovers that it is unloaded. Ryleen is again surprised that Takeshi would risk his life for the people who she thinks are insignificant. She orders the guards to take them away while she operates the camera out of Takeshi's eyes. Then we see Lizzie entering a room where a man has just gotten done killing 2 people. She kills him in an instant and comes outside looking for the next target. In the hallways, she runs into her parents being dragged away. She takes this chance to attack the guards and her parents follow the lead. Similarly, Kristen runs back to Ryleen's office to save Takeshi. The two wreak havoc and start hurting everyone. Takeshi defeats all the guards but is locked inside the office with Ryleen. Outside, Kristen ends up with the Ghostwalker, ready to take revenge for her family's death. Somewhere else, the Elliots bring down the power grade of the entire building. Now it only has a few more minutes before it turns into dust. Meanwhile, Kristen brings the Ghostwalker down and makes him beg for his life. He cries before his stack is brutally pulled out. Takeshi and Ryleen fight each other fiercely, forgetting about the relationship. Amidst the battle, Ryleen reveals that she still has Quell's stack, which means she is still alive. Takeshi is shocked at the revelation, but to meet Quell, he will have to let go of Ryleen. He gives it a long thought and comes to the conclusion that no matter how much he wants to meet Quell, Ryleen should not be let free. He holds her close and shoots her dead. Captain Tanaka and a police squad arrive at the place and bring Kristen outside. Seconds later, the brothel explodes and drops into the ocean. In the following scene, Takeshi's doppelganger is in a virtual interrogation. They have revived Takeshi using the stack found in the wreckage, but only one of them can live. They play rock, paper, scissors and decide to let the original one live. After that, Takeshi and Kristen reunite and go to tell Bancroft the entire truth. Initially, Bancroft refuses to believe that he killed anyone, but now that they can use Mary's stack to investigate, the truth will soon be out. Until then, he is arrested as a suspect in murder. Next, Lizzie comes forward with an allegation against Miriam. It turns out that she was pregnant with Bancroft's child. Miriam got a hint of this and hit her in the stomach repeatedly to make her miscarry. Moreover, she sent Lizzie to a torture chamber where she was tortured for years before being thrown in an alley. Miriam is also arrested for the murder of an unborn. Now that the truth has come out, Takeshi wishes Kristen goodbye and promises to give Riker his body back. The farewell is hard on both of them, but they promise to never forget each other. In the last scene, Takeshi sets out on a mission to look for Quell. Subscribe and hit that like button to help our channel grow. Turn the notifications on so you won't miss any of our new videos. Thanks for watching.